Welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this early afternoon update, I want to go over a quick synopsis of what's transpiring in the market. Yes, I know XRP came down, but it held a double bottom at 449. Now as we approach and creep back up to the 47-cent level, if we see XRP get back on top of 477 and start working its way up towards that 508 level, we're going to be in business here, ladies and gentlemen. We had some strong holds of support. Litecoin right now, I'm going to show that chart. It is going absolutely bonkers. It's up 26.5% today. And sometimes Litecoin, for whatever reason, it will front run Bitcoin. I don't know why, but it's happened a lot of times in the not so distant past, where Litecoin will go berserk and then the rest of the market will catch up, especially Bitcoin. So Litecoin's up over 26% today. That could be the exception, not the rule. But with Bitcoin, we had a volatile flush down to 29,600 and some change. But now we've come back up to 30,300 plus. And Bitcoin is still showing that support at the CME gap at 30,000, top of the channel, and creating that bull flag. We came down for a beautiful test and show of strength now because we got that added liquidity and volatility down there at 29,600. That's going to allow us to catapult up if Bitcoin decides to push up to the next level. So we need to pay very close attention to this and what's transpiring in the market this morning. We're also going to take a look, obviously, at the XRP chart, but I also want to dip into HBAR as well for Tanya and a few others. Summer, I'm going to look at Litecoin for you as well because it is relevant, and I seen your comment about how it's front-running Bitcoin, and I too have noticed that. So we'll take a look. Make sure you hit that like button, as it will greatly help push, or I'll greatly appreciate it, as it will help push me through the analytics. And also, we must choose positivity over negativity. We must use the positivity so that it can guide us to an emotionless response when we're looking at the charts, and we'll let the charts dictate the perception of the reality of the markets. So right now, we've had a lot of volatility, but what I can tell you is, if we show this bit of strength, we're going to have a heck of a massive move up. Good early afternoon, 12:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, June 30th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Although the great state of Michigan, not so great today. I'm inside doing the update because the air quality is just... So I'm not even going to debate on what it is, but I can tell you it's not a wildfire. So XRP down 1.31%. Doesn't even tell the story. Doesn't even begin to tell the story. XRP had a volatile swing down of about 6.8% from the swing high to the swing low. From around the 482 level. Actually, it was about 7% from 483. But 482, 6.8% down to 449. Remember this morning's update. We tapped it perfectly. 449 would have had to give way for 44 cents. And honestly, holding this double bottom here, if we can show some strength, now we've held 462 on the next 2-hour candle. If that candle closes above there, we'll start to go in and operate procedural steps here. Then we'd want to come up to 471 or 477 on the next 2-hour candle close. And then it's... I mean, there's going to be a volatile move here at some point, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got to stay on top of this. Whether it goes to the downside or upside, right now we're showing a lot of strength at the bottom. So we've hit 449 here. We hit 449 here again. That could constitute a double bottom here. I'm watching very closely what's going on with Litecoin to see if we can put in a similar pattern, but we're just not doing it yet. We're just not doing it yet with XRP. We've already created, I mean, we are doing it. What am I talking about? We're just not doing, we haven't had the volatile spike up yet is what I'm trying to say. We've had boom. Oh my goodness. Look what's developing here. See, I love doing this in real time. So look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We've had the inverted head and shoulders, as we've talked about. So you can say that's the left inverted head and shoulders. If you go, okay, this is in my way. Let me move this up. So if we're talking about the inverted head and shoulders pattern, which would be the longer play of this pattern, we've got, ready? breakdown, inverted left arm, inverted head, which is also on the breakout pattern, the retest of the breakout of the ascending triangle or symmetrical, whatever you want to call it. But it was the breakout retest is where the neckline was formed. Came back up with a volatile move. Now, is this the inverted right arm being created for a volatile spike back up to 585? That is what we're trying to figure out. We've been trying to figure this out. Is it going to be here, or would it be at 44 or now 42? Could it possibly swing up? We theorized it can only come down to 44 cents if we really want this to play out, because that's the neckline. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of trouble here. So, but we've never successfully come down and even attempted to break the 44 cents. So does that mean if we do what Litecoin does, because we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern playing out here, we just haven't finished it. It's clear as day. In my opinion, this is a clear as day pattern. You've got the inverted left arm formed. You've got the inverted head on the breakout part of the pattern. You've got the inverted right shoulder being created. It even created it all the way back out, and now you're getting the test of support around the neckline. If you break out of here without losing 44 cents, I mean, that could be a major, major, major move in the making right now. And we've had a lot of flushing. We've had a lot of shakeouts here. Now, if we break down, obviously we know if we lose that 44 cents, we're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. Just trying to clear this up a little bit. We know the bottom of the broadening wedge is 42 cents. So we can move the 432 down to the 42. We don't even need to keep both of them. So, well, actually now it's down to about 415. So we'll see what happens here. But you see this volatility, the fact we haven't given way yet. This could be building into something bigger behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a reason why I've remained, even though I want to be very bearish, I've remained with that positivity to the top side because of what's going on with the whales and the fact we're not giving this away yet. My decision will be formed once we break that inverted head and shoulders neckline and confirm it with a validation at 44 cents. Then we would have to come down to the bottom of the broadening wedge for the next step at about 41.5 cents as we keep updating it on the fly. And then once you break that, technically you should go down to 36 cents, the 2020 uptrend. That's your next major uptrending support. So, but if we don't go down and we break out of this, if we round back out of this, this is going to be ultra bullish. I can only root for XRP to break out of this right now. But you have to be very cautiously optimistic here, because technically, if this drops for XRP, you're building a much wider formation here. That could be constituted as a head and shoulders pattern. I'm just going to show you what that looks like, or an M-topping reversal. So yes, there's this inverted head and shoulders in here that I think is very clear, and we could do something like this and then pop out to the top. I think it's clear we've created that inverted head and shoulders. Now, what can happen is if we drop off too far on any given dump and we lose that inverted head and shoulders neckline, let's just say we come down here, we dick. And then we're like, uh-oh. Then we get rejected. Now, all of a sudden, if you look at this in a wider pattern, let's just say we come way down. And this is just speculation if we were to break the inverted. Let's just say we come down to the 28. Oh, look how perfectly that lined up. But would that not be a head and shoulders pattern completely playing out in a complete drop down? Obviously, we have 36 cents that we would have to hit even before. But the 287 is the pattern, the bottom right now. But that's what I'm saying. So we have to be careful. But right now, let's just say this forms the double bottom. Let's just say this is everything's going in a bullish direction. Your technical target would be to play back up. Obviously, we'd have to get above 508 and all this other stuff. But best case scenario, we'd have to get up to 585, play the pattern double top, and then ultimately get to the top of the broadening wedge, which is now lined up perfectly with the pattern breakdown from not so far in the distant past when we lost the 61 cent formation. Now we would have a retest at the top of the broadening wedge at the 613 level. You break that and hold, you got 65 cents. And then if you get over 65 cents, that's when it gets interesting. But you can't do any of that until we get out of this consolidation. I believe we're in a corrective phase. So if we can hold on to this, you know, it's going to be something magical. I'm telling you, there is a chance here that we could have a hostile move in either direction. Well, not hostile. Hostile would be bad. But there's a chance that we could have a major move here, a major breakout. And yes, breakouts can be in the down direction, but with what's going on in the broader market, I think something's lining up here, and there's a reason why there's been so many shakeout attempts. So we're going to pay attention to the bearish side as well as the bullish side. XLM, we can see how beautifully, as we said this morning, we were talking about for a further move up here, we needed to hold the 10-8 level. I mean, it did exactly what it needed to do. I mean, if I was drawing this out, came down, hit the 20-day and the 4-hourly, then came right back up, showing a wick in the daily. This would just show a wick in the daily. And if it were to close above here, this would be a beautiful retest. You can see the bullish cross here. I mean, it's got a beautiful setup here if it stays. If it forms this bullish handle, XLM is going up to 12.7 approximately in the next swift move. So just pay attention. This is where the market could really shake a lot of people out. That's why I keep saying it's a accumulation phase. You take your medicine. See that? That's where our next big play is at 12 cents. But you take your emotion out of it and you start to accumulate properly in the bear market. It's not 2021, folks. We sold out in the top of a bull market. $1.66 on average. After buying on average for 47 cents. And that's including the rest of our crypto around the similar time that we had. Or that I owned. Now we did the one basic philosophy. ISO 20022. IoT coins and the 3 X's. XRP, XLM, XDC. We've done everything and more that we've wanted to. And now we're accumulating on Fridays, on FOMO Fridays. We've been doing HBAR because it's something I really wanted. And now we've done 6 weekly installments of $50. And we've managed to attain 5,880 plus tokens of HBAR in 6 weeks. $300 total. So after that, we'll move on to the next thing. So our simple philosophy was we're not buying for several years because we're waiting for the bear market. We got there. We bought at the bottom of the bear market. Fortunately, our technical analysis and what we were seeing and thinking is right. That doesn't mean the bear market's done, and it doesn't even mean the lowest lows are in. What it means is we've attained our position right now at the bottom of the bear market. If it goes lower, we can always add to our position. But we've got funds left over because we bought it at the appropriate time. But now is not the time to sell. I did not buy XRP to sell at 50 or 60 cents or $1. I did not sell XRP to sell this time around to sell there. It's just not why I bought it. This time was not to sell because I know the time in history we're in, and going into 2025, it's not going to be so easy. I knew the exchanges were going to have issues. We all know this. So who's to say even if XRP is sitting at 15 cents that we can buy it easily in the USA? So hold on to what you have, especially if you're accumulating in the bear market. Don't let anybody trick you. I've been sharing you a lot of knowledge the last few days, especially in the lives and in the updates, showing you the whales, showing you the connection with Ripple and the Visa $50 trillion contract. There's connections here. I showed you yesterday the collaboration now with IOTA, XLM, and XRP to be on Swift. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Make sure you're paying attention. So now I want to rotate here to HBAR, and then we're going to end with Litecoin. So Tanya, HBAR, I know you've been pining for me to do one of these. I apologize. It took 13 minutes for me to get to it. But, you know, I do like to cover everything very thoroughly. So with HBAR, and in the lives I talk about this more, I do need to do more updates to HBAR now that we own it as a community. I apologize. So 4 hourly, we committed a golden cross here, as you can see. And now we're trying to confirm the golden cross breakout. And that would constitute a hold at 497. It's playing these levels perfectly. And then we would have a run up as we've had one attempt. Back up here, remember what I said when we were starting to buy on FOMO Fridays. As the accumulation was happening on the way down, we started buying here at 5.4 or 5.3. We bought it all the way down to 4.2 and back up. So we talked about on the way down, it would be a perfect time to buy. So when it has that first breakout attempt, even if we get rejected up here, everybody can see that they're up. And see the beauty of buying week after week with small amounts, but buying on the way down in bear markets. So it was a perfect lesson, I think, for everybody who's tuning in and anybody who's participated on FOMO Fridays. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart because I'm with my friends and we're doing it together, so it makes it that much more important. So right now we're looking for HBAR to hold the 497, come back up to the broken channel that we had, and we've got to get back above for HBAR to start playing this out and reverse this pattern. As I'm going to show you something that's developing here, and I've noticed it just like with Litecoin. So HBAR in the immediate short term, watch this. HBAR came down volatilely, created an inverted head. It could be creating a volatile right arm, and it could possibly be having a breakout attempt in here at some point. If it makes this formation, If this does turn into an inverted head and shoulders pattern, let's just say even does this, you see how that looks? If it does something like that, it's starting to form the same thing that I observed Litecoin doing. Let me go up to Litecoin real quick. We'll tap out this TA real quick for summer. But this is exactly what Litecoin was doing. We came down, created this, created the head real quick, came down to the right shoulder, and bam. I feel like a quick setup like that is exactly what HBAR might be in the process of doing. The beauty of this for summer, the beauty of this for Litecoin is we actually broke out of that lower structure. So now we can actually create the, well, we can't even really create the next part of the pattern. Well, I mean, let me rephrase that. We can create the next part of the pattern. And we can also start to see what we have to do to remain bullish here as well. This will be a nice one. This will be a nice one. We'll do it like this. And then we can see where the breakout happened. Even if we come up here where the tops were happening, we can do something like, I need to go up a little bit higher. I'll show you in a sec. Don't judge it yet. So the breakout happened somewhere around here. We'll come down a little bit lower. We'll come through the body. We'll do the body. Okay. I like that better. So the breakout happened something like that with Litecoin. So now, typically what happens, and it's not always a guarantee, but typically what will happen here, so we're going to try to get our numbers real quick, Summer. So we had the volatile breakout. Now, if we want this to hold, typically you're going to have a volatile swing, but I'm not sure it's going to come all the way back down there. Just pay attention for a huge volatile swing to hold this breakout and then just continue to push out. We always love that huge shakeout. Oh, we already had it. Never mind. We already had it once. Okay. Forget that. Let's see what happens here. So we already had one retest. So that's like a cup and handle on the top. It retested here. If that is a retest and a breakout, ooh boy. That's going to be a nice breakout. Let's see. We're going to have to go farther out in this pattern now. Ooh, wow. Litecoin could actually start retesting some of these upper levels. This could be, just remember, this could be just a retest of these areas right now. So don't go crazy. But man, Litecoin could have something going here now. Because honestly, I'm seeing something here. Watch this. I know this is going to be messy. Let's just hypothetically say we have something like this starting on an uptrend. Something like, this is interesting actually. This is very interesting. So, and I know this is sloppy right now, but I'm going to keep it all in here for a reason. We're going to see how it all works together eventually. So Litecoin's got something like that for the uptrending support. But look what's starting to develop here on the way back up. If we come all the way over here, so we'll just say we had like a resistance here because we came up, boom, back down to here. Now we can either start it. Man, this is interesting. I almost want to say we're doing something like this. This is interesting. If I can line this up properly, and I know I'm on the fly here in the daily, and it's so hard to do it in the daily because I can't see the micro moves. But honestly, it looks like it's formed some kind of channel like that. Like, it looks like it's formed something like that. And your first step right now, based on where the market movements are, actually, it's a little bit lower. But the market movements, your first step's to get over 107.26 here. If we can get over 107.26 approximately and hold this area, that's the top of the wick. I actually think I'd be more comfortable coming here because we had a push up here. We had several breaks here. We've got a couple resist. I like it just like that. Just like that. That's what's forming right now. So Yes, we're inside of this uptrend. Let me get rid of some of this that is irrelevant now. Just so it's easier to see. Let me just get rid of all this. Obviously, it broke out of that part. So, that's what's going on right now with Litecoin. We formed this channel, and if we can break out, because we've already had a breakout attempt from the formation, now we've got to break out of that upper resistance. If we break out of that and hold 107.26, your next major area is going to be somewhere around 128. And this could obviously, look at this. This could just bring you out in the channel, everybody, in Litecoin. I know this is a ridiculously long update, but the channel is forming, and now if we get on top of it, that's your massive breakout attempt. You got to get on top of that channel. If you get on top of this little channel that's formed, holy smokes. Right now it's just support, resistance, support, resistance, or resistance, support, back to resistance. If it keeps doing these volatile swings, eventually it's going to have to break one way or the other. This could be a right arm forming too, though. If this channel holds, that's the right arm on a topping reversal. Or an M topping reversal. So just make sure we're paying attention to this. And let's get done with the HBAR too. HBAR, fortunately, I don't have to draw it out like I had to with Litecoin, but now you learn something. You got to learn how to do it on the fly real quick. HBAR, like we were talking about. So if we have that same formation that's starting, which is how we got the Litecoin, we could say, let me go to the 4-hourly. We could say, all of a sudden we dropped down, did this, created a head. Now if this does create some volatile swing out, this could be starting a inverted head and shoulders on this immediate small time, or the small time frame. So we're going to see if this inversion plays out to something stronger. It very well could be a nice reversal here. So let's just see what happens. Our goal is to get on top of 497, work our way back up here now and get above the 6-1. We do have a golden cross forming now in the 4-hourly, not formed. Already happened. Now we're just trying to validate it with the hold of 497 and a break above 6-1. So that would be a beautiful volatile swing for us holding the HBAR. So just pay attention to that. So Tanya, I hope that helps. But that's what we're looking at. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. And if you want to show some support for the work I do, join Tom's Army. I have a mission statement of why it's so important in the video description below and or pinned comments. You allow me to keep creative control, and you become an integral part of my content because I don't have to put out any paid advertising, paid promotions, paid sponsorships. And I have done the work that I've been requested in the comments and the audience and the live. So I know we can't use BitGet or Mexi in the USA anymore. I know it bummed a lot of people out, but I have found an alternative now. I tested it out over the weekend. I sent XRP. Yes, in the USA you can still use XRP. You can buy it on the exchange. And they do futures trade up to 100x long you're shorting the market. I don't encourage it, but a lot of people are interested in it, and we're bummed that they can't do it anymore. So I found the alternative. I have it in the video description below and or pinned comments. It's called Femex. They're Web3 enabled. They allow the USA. I actually fibbed the problem on Sunday to see how quick the customer service was, and I got a response in less than 30 minutes. There's 24/7 chatting that you can do right on the exchange. So I didn't have to go through email or anything like that. So that was very helpful, and it's almost identical if you're used to the BitGet and Mexi platform. It's almost identical. So in the video description below, if you're looking for that, the exchange information is below. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag FUD Assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day, because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, it's going to be a very difficult journey traveling through crypto into 2025. Positivity over negativity. And if this is all confusing what you've seen today, even if not, and you want to just enjoy the live at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll go over all of this and more. At least from a technical standpoint, we'll talk about what's going on in the market, but I have a lot of information that I've yet to dig into, and I know the last 2 days were fire on the live.